Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth so easily, while others struggle continuously to pay off their debts? What if I told you that the answer to this age-old question is hidden in the pages of the Bible? In this video, we will reveal 5 surprising habits that, according to the scriptures, can propel you toward financial abundance. Stay with me until the end, because without these 5 habits, it's unlikely that you will ever become rich. Habit number 3 and number 5 are the most valuable, so don't leave this video, as it will definitely add a lot to you. Have you reflected on what differentiates people who achieve financial success from those who do not? Have you wondered why some people can make money multiply while others are always struggling to pay the bills? Do you feel that your financial situation is stagnant with no progress? Many believe that prosperity, or the lack thereof, is a result of government policies, the system in which we live, or how money is distributed in society. These factors indeed play a role, but they are not the only ones responsible. According to a study conducted by UFLA, about 60% of multimillionaires gained their wealth on their own, through their work and effort. This leads us to a central question. What makes someone wealthy? What is the secret to becoming prosperous? It's important to pay attention. The financial results we achieve are a reflection of our money-related habits. To accumulate wealth, it is essential to develop practices that promote prosperity. Our financial habits are a direct expression of the choices we make every day. Believe it or not, the Bible, which many consider a spiritual guide, also offers valuable insights on how to manage our finances to achieve success. The scriptures contain teachings about behaviors and practices that can lead us to economic progress. And it is precisely about these habits that we will talk in this video, showing how adopting them can transform your financial life. Let's start with an important observation. The Bible does not promise material wealth to anyone, not even to the most devoted Christians. This means that we should not expect or demand wealth from God simply for following biblical teachings. However, we cannot ignore that those who apply the financial principles described in the scriptures tend to enjoy greater prosperity, not just spiritually, but also in family and financial matters. To be clear, by adopting biblical advice, you will be positioning yourself in a way that facilitates financial abundance. Nevertheless, it is essential to understand that this should not be seen as a bargain with God. We should not demand anything in return for our obedience to divine principles, but rather follow them because we believe they are wise and right. With that clearly defined, let's explore the 5 habits that the Bible suggests for achieving prosperity. These habits not only have the potential to transform your financial life, but they can also bring benefits to your spiritual life and the harmony in your home. Over time, by adopting these practices as part of your routine, you will see that they are grounded in ancestral wisdom and have a positive impact in various areas of your life. Therefore, keep an open mind and a heart willing to change. These habits are more than simple financial tips. They are life principles that can guide you toward a more prosperous and balanced future. Let's then explore these enriching habits that the Bible presents to us. We will start by discussing the first crucial habit for becoming wealthy: living below your means. This essential habit involves consistently spending less than you earn. In other words, it means not allocating your entire salary or income to consumption, always leaving a portion set aside. This prudent practice is widely recommended by the Bible. Do you remember the story of Joseph in Egypt? During the 7 years of abundance, Joseph advised Pharaoh to store a portion of the harvest, anticipating the 7 years of scarcity that would follow. This strategy of living with less than what was received enabled Egypt to face the shortage and, surprisingly, to prosper during a period of crisis. This biblical example reflects the importance of maintaining a financial reserve for difficult times. Additionally, there is another valuable teaching in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20, which states, "In the house of the wise, there is a precious treasure and oil, but the foolish man devours it." This passage underscores the wisdom of saving and not spending everything at once. The wise person is the one who accumulates essential resources, while the foolish spends irresponsibly, without considering the future. Unfortunately, many people today do not have the habit of living below their means. They end up spending everything they earn, or even more, through debt and installment purchases. This behavior prevents the creation of a financial reserve and makes it difficult to achieve abundance. To reverse this situation and start the journey towards financial success, it is essential to adopt the habit of living below your means. Therefore, begin by analyzing your expenses and identifying where you can cut unnecessary costs. Establish a budget that allows you to regularly save a portion of your income. With discipline and persistence, you will realize that it is possible to build a solid foundation for your financial future. Adopting this habit will not only help you avoid crises, but also make better use of the opportunities that arise throughout life. If you liked tip number 1, you will surely appreciate the other 4 suggestions. So comment. The secret to prosperity is in the Bible. As soon as I see your comment, I will give it a heart. Now that you've commented, let's proceed. Habit number 2, having multiple sources of income. The second habit that generates wealth is having various ways to earn money. As the old saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And why shouldn't we do that? Because if that basket falls, we will lose all the eggs we placed in it. The most obvious way to minimize risks is to distribute the eggs into different baskets. I'm sure you've heard of this. After all, almost everyone knows this expression. But knowing something is not the same as being wise. Knowing is not equal to acting. I insist on this point because unfortunately, few people truly implement this in their lives. Relying solely on a single source of income is like putting all your eggs in one basket. It doesn't matter if you have had a steady job for many years or if you are a well-paid employee. It doesn't matter if you own a business that has been very successful. Depending on only one source of income is risky. Why does this pose a risk? Because jobs are not eternal, businesses can fail, salaries can depreciate, even those of public servants, and unforeseen events will certainly occur sooner or later. By the way, consider what Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, "Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening, let not your hands be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well." Reflect on my advice. Develop the habit of having multiple sources of income. Like any habit, this is built over time and with consistent practice. I have friends who follow this habit. Whenever I spend time with them, I learn a lot about this practice. They continuously talk about creating new sources of income. I remember one day, at a restaurant with one of these friends, we were having lunch and discussing how the place could be more profitable and financially secure. We looked at the cash register and commented that they should sell desserts, chocolates, and sweets to the customers who had just eaten. We observed how the customers behaved and quickly came up with ideas about what they could offer in the restaurant to increase profits. Honestly, those who have the habit of creating income sources are always seeing new opportunities. Make this a habit too. Create it and see how your financial life can diversify and expand. Habit number 3, having a financial reserve. The third habit is undoubtedly having a financial reserve. This reserve means saving a certain amount of money to be used only in emergency situations. These emergencies can be positive, such as an incredible opportunity to study abroad or an unmissable business, or negative, such as losing a job or facing health problems. Honestly, I'm surprised that many people still do not understand the vital importance of having a financial reserve. I believe that if everyone knew how advantageous it is to have this money saved, everyone would do it. Think a little about what the Bible teaches us. In Egypt, during the 7 years of plenty, they created a financial reserve, which gave them economic power. As we know from historical records and archaeological discoveries, this power did not come from nowhere, but largely thanks to the financial reserve that Joseph helped to establish. Many people question whether they should save money only when they are sure they will go through difficult times. But please pay attention. Challenging times are inevitable. The Bible in Ecclesiastes 9:1 says, "I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, Nor does food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. This shows us that, regardless of our spiritual condition, we all face unexpected challenges. Therefore, it is wise to be prepared. One effective way to prepare is precisely by creating a financial reserve. Money, as they say, can be real protection in times of difficulty. This is again confirmed by the Bible in Ecclesiastes 7:12. Wisdom is a shelter as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it. Thus, in addition to the strong protective potential that a financial reserve offers, it is also a habit that enriches. Imagine a young person who just got married and lost their job. For many, losing a job in such a situation could be disastrous. But by the grace of God, many already understand the importance of having a financial reserve, as taught by the Bible. I speak from personal experience. I have lost a job unexpectedly, but I had a reserve saved, which ensured my sustenance for over a year. It was this reserve that allowed me to continue my dream of dedicating myself fully to changing lives by teaching biblical principles about finances. I did this without needing a fixed job and without facing the complicated traffic of my city every day. With this financial peace, I was able to focus on my life mission. This highlights the immense difference that an emergency fund can make, not only as a safety net, but also as a foundation for future opportunities. The fourth habit is to invest. Remember that the habits that contribute to wealth, such as living within your financial means, have an important purpose: to enable you to invest. There is no doubt that developing the habit of investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, fixed income, properties, businesses, and other products will lead to a much more comfortable and successful financial life. The Bible offers various examples and advice on the relevance of investment. A significant example is the parable of the talents told by Jesus in Matthew chapter 25. In summary, this parable talks about a wealthy man who entrusted his possessions to his servants, giving an amount to each according to their abilities. Some of these servants used the money they received to invest and were able to multiply what they had. However, one servant simply buried what he received without investing. When the master returned, he confronted this servant and said, "You should have deposited my money with the bankers, so that when I returned I would have received it back with interest." Matthew 25:27. Everything we have comes from God, and He wants us to grow these resources. This includes our spiritual, family, and naturally, financial resources. Therefore, if you truly desire to have a more prosperous financial life, you need to learn to invest. It's a choice that allows money to work for you instead of you just working for money. It's the path to achieving financial freedom. I admit that at first, the habit of investing may seem complex and even intimidating, especially when it involves the financial market and its products. Initially, you might be hesitant to open an account with a brokerage, transfer money to that account, and decide which financial products to invest in, whether fixed income or variable. But here's my advice. Don't let fear stop you from acting. Over time, as you learn and gain experience, you will feel more confident and see results emerge. Still regarding the importance of investing, imagine that every real invested is a small seed planted. Over time, that seed grows, transforms into a robust tree, and can bear much fruit. Start with small amounts, gaining experience and knowledge. Nowadays, there are countless resources for those who want to learn more about investments: books, courses, videos, and even assistance from professionals in the field. Many start with fixed income investments, such as Treasury Direct or CDBs, which generally offer more security. As they feel more comfortable, they begin to diversify their portfolios, including higher risk options with potentially higher returns, such as stocks and real estate funds. Moreover, investing is not just about money. When you invest in knowledge, in your skills, and in relationships, you are increasing your chances of success in all areas of life. When the Bible talks about multiplying our talents, it is encouraging us to manage well all that we receive, multiplying and making good use of these resources. Finally, remember that investing is a long-term journey, and the fruits of this habit will come with patience and perseverance. Don't expect immediate results from investments. It's something to reap in the future. Thus, when adversities arise or when you desire a bit more freedom and comfort, your investments will be there to support you. The fifth enriching habit, according to the Bible, is to seek wisdom. In Proverbs it is written, "Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold." To achieve financial prosperity, the path inevitably involves the pursuit of wisdom. But after all, what is wisdom? One of the best definitions of wisdom is that it is knowledge put into practice. Pay close attention to this. Wisdom is knowing how to do. It is transforming knowledge into action. I need to emphasize this point because having knowledge and not applying it has little value. What really matters is knowledge in action. For example, many people know that saving money is important, but few are wise enough to actually do it. When you hear what I said about the importance of living below your means, unfortunately, only a small number of people will have the wisdom to put it into practice. Look at what Proverbs 13:16 says. "Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool exposes his folly." This means that you need to acquire knowledge, and when we think about personal finance, you need to learn about smart ways to make money, understand passive income, know the importance of an emergency fund, and be aware of investments in local and foreign stocks, investment funds, fixed income, among others. But more than just acquiring that knowledge, you need to gain wisdom, which means putting into practice what you have learned. Here are the 5 habits that enrich: living below your means, having multiple sources of income, creating an emergency fund, investing, and seeking wisdom. I have 2 pieces of news for you. One good, and one that may not be as uplifting. The good news is that each of these habits has the potential to completely transform your life. I speak from personal experience, as I have seen a significant improvement in my life as I adopted each of these habits and put them into practice. When I started living more frugally, my life improved considerably. The same happened when I sought to diversify my sources of income. Similarly, when I established my emergency fund, I felt much greater security when starting my investments. And, even more importantly, when I began to relentlessly pursue financial knowledge, I noticed positive changes happening. The not-so-good news is that adopting these habits isn't a simple task, and it won't happen overnight. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. To show that you're a determined person and watched until the end, comment, "I watched until the end." When I see your comment, I'll give it a heart. Now I'll leave you with 2 videos I created to teach you how to build wealth from scratch. Click on one of them and go watch. Do it now.